Talk a bit, and I know I am probably, aren't I? I'm probably stepping on Mr. Devlin's toes here a little bit. But I got inspired last weekend about something I haven't been inspired by for a while, one-day cricket. And I happened to turn on the TV when the Black Caps were batting against Pakistan, and young guy called Ravindra was out in the middle. And then Kane Williamson came on, and for the first time in many years, I was back into it. And I realised, of course, there is a Cricket World Cup going on in Pakistan. And New Zealand's been doing all right, a mixed bag. But we've got a young guy out of Wellington with a Pakistani name. He was born in New Zealand, who looks like the next big superstar. And suddenly I'm back into cricket. And I thought, what impact is this having back home? And the Black Caps this morning just waiting on a weather report. We've got a game against Sri Lanka. And bloody cricket's full of statistics, and I can't figure out what's going on half the time, but I do like watching it when it's good, as we all do, John Mystery Morrison.
Yeah, g'day, Sean. How are you, mate? Yeah, it's all very confusing, but yeah, the big worry, I suppose, tonight to start with is the rain, because they're threatening thunderstorms and rain, and if that happened and the game was rained out, each side, Sri Lanka and New Zealand, would get 1 point. And the difficulty there is that Pakistan, if they beat England, get 2 points and go ahead of us. And even if Afghanistan beat South Africa, they would go ahead of us. So the first point is hope we have a game, and I hope we win by plenty, and then we're assured of making the semis. But there are quite a few scenarios.
Yeah. And because of the focus on the ultimately disappointing Rugby World Cup, this tournament kind of got underway very quietly in terms of public perception. But there have been some great performances there. And this young guy, Ravindra, that we've got, even other countries, commentators and that, are saying he is going to be huge, Mystery.
Oh, absolutely. He's been quite extraordinary. I like to think we've known that in Wellington, but some of the national selectors haven't quite seen it that way, and they picked him for New Zealand in Test cricket and batted him way down the order and used him as a left-arm spinner that bats, where he's a top-order player, and for Wellington he's performed very well, but this has been exceptional. But to go back in sort of broad terms to India and perform the way he has, is second highest scorer in the whole tournament, 300s, batting up the top of the order against some of the best bowling attacks in the world, and he's taken them apart. He's been sensational. So, he's a superstar in the making, and long may he stay in Wellington, Sean.
Yeah. John, when did you Wellington cricket community first become aware of him?
Well, we were pretty aware at the school level that he was bloody good, and he won, a number of underage tournaments and was looking very good. This has been an exceptional leap, as it were. He hasn't sort of gone slowly from the shithouse to the penthouse.
Yeah.
And he's gone there in a hurry. This is really the making of him. And to do it in India as well, it's a bit special because that's, the home of his family originally. Of course, India is not always the easiest place to play.
No, but it seems like he's got an old head on his shoulders. I also loved... I really got enthused by that match against Pakistan, albeit that we lost because of bloody Duckworth Lewis and the rest. I was still I'd say it's one of the great cricket matches I've watched because it held my attention, and it was exciting in the way that it used to be back in the days when one-day cricket started and we were watching those bastards, the Australians. But I saw his interview afterwards. He's a Kiwi, mate. He talks like a Kiwi.
He's growing up here. He's a real Kiwi, local boy, and that's great. He's been a fanatical practicer and trainer.
Yeah, someone was saying
when everyone else
his dad's helped with that.
they say, oh, he did 2 or 3 hours in the nets. Oh, a week? No, a day. He's been fanatical in that sense. But all quietly, no fanfare and what have you. But no, he's very much a Wellington boy or Hutt Valley boy.
Yeah.
But it has been wonderful. And you're right, that 400 against Pakistan. I mean, sure, they were 200 for one chasing, but they still had to score another 200 runs, and a lot can happen in that lot.
Yeah.
That was a bit rough. And then the previous game, Sean, we were chasing 388, and we got 383 against Australia. And that was bloody exciting. And again, so we've had 2 brilliant batting performances and lost.
Yeah.
Which says a wee bit for our bowling, which hasn't been as good as we would hope.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to knock Sri Lanka over tonight. We've got to have a game to start with. Yeah. And then we've got to hope like hell Pakistan don't thrash England and get a better run rate.
Now, I know it's a team game. You were never called a black cap when you played, were you? You weren't the black caps in the New Zealand cricket team. Or you were Richard Hadley and 10 other guys. But I look at, and I hate to say this, and tell me if I'm just a bad person. Part of the reason I want New Zealand to stay in the competition, I am now invested in the idea of Ravindra at this tournament breaking some long-standing batting records for World Cups, which he would be capable of with 2 or 3 games. And I know that puts a lot of pressure on him. But I'm back interested in the Black Caps in the World Cup because of him.
Look, everyone goes to see a great player. You think back at rugby, we went to see Jonah because he was brilliant. Yeah. We go and see brilliant players. If someone comes to town, a golfer or a tennis player, you've got to see them. But yeah, he's worth the admittance price. Well, you probably get him free, Sean. Yeah. I'll shout you up at the basin. We've got a test there later in the year. But no, he's worth watching because he's classic in some ways, but he can rip it as well. Yeah.
No fear. That's what all the commentators are saying. He's not afraid to play a shot. No. He's happy to put it 10 rows back in the stand.
No worries. The best players around. So, well, he's sitting on. He has one more run to beat Sachin Tendulkar's record for the most runs in a World Cup.
Jeez.
So
that's why I want this. I'm interested in this game. It starts at 9:30 this morning. Look, the other thing I just want to mention, Mystery, and I guess it's what really enthused me was him batting with Kane Williamson, and I think we almost forget in this country just how good Kane Williamson is by international standards. He is our greatest batsman we've ever had, isn't he?
Oh, I think so, Sean, and he's done it over a long period as well. And, he's come back from that bloody knee injury, and then he broke his thumb, unluckily, and he comes out and immediately gets 60 or 70 or 80 and shows how classy. He knew Ravindra was going well, so he fed him the strike. Yeah. He's that clever, and he can dab a single. He's one guy that probably plays the ball later than anyone else around.
It gives him more time to make. More time to make good decisions. Yeah,
too right. So no, it's bloody good. I just hope we get a clear night, but the forecast ain't looking that flash. But I hope but mind you, forecasters were invented to make economists look good, weren't they?
Well said. Hey, Mystery, thank you so much for helping us out there, and we'll catch up for a bevy soon. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Cheers.
You're on, mate. All
Cheers. Well, Wellington legend, New Zealand cricket legend, John Mystery Morrison, and I don't know if you're like me, I just feel really interested in cricket again, and a lot of it down to a guy who I think is going to be a superstar, Ravindra. I feel now like the old, the guys on the Muppets, the 2 old guys on the Muppets. You come to a stage in life where you might be playing sport and you aspire to be like people who are older than you. You look at the All Blacks, they're older than you. Then you play sport and you might play to 11, get quite good, and you think, I could be like them. Then you realise you're not good enough, but you still watch because they're like you. I could have done that deep down inside. And then as you get older, you look at all the sports people, say the same age, and you just become an old WANKER know-it-all. And that's at the stage I'm at now with sport. And I think I went through a little period where I wasn't that interested in sport because I didn't know where I fitted in. But I'm an old guy in an armchair now, and the lazy boy kind of rocker.